Hello everybody, Blitz here. I finally saw the Backrooms movie, and this will be my review. My review will go into spoilers, but this film is a few weeks old, but who cares about some random YouTuber review anyway, but still, watch at your own risk. This is a creepypasta horror movie that I found decent. It's a film about mental health and losing yourself to insanity, going around in circles and finding yourself in a place you don't belong, but you seem that you do, and facing the monsters inside of you to realize that you are the monster in a way. Before I talk about the stuff I like and don't like, I'm familiar with the Backrooms, but not too much with the lore of the Backrooms. There's levels upon levels with so much story, but this film only has two: the normal Backrooms and the poor rooms. Briefly, the found footage style mixed with normal film style was cool. Our main characters, they aren't really main characters in a way. They're pretty much mental health issues and a characterization in a way. Clark is a furniture store owner who's dealing with bills, a messed up divorce relationship, and himself. And I get confused with him because of his name, Clark, because my mind goes directly to Clark Kent, Superman. And next is Mary. She is a therapist who tries to help Clark, and she had a terrible childhood because her mother was going insane, thinking something was after her. She covered up the windows and blocked the doors that caused Mary to slowly break and lose herself, and her mom was put into a mental hospital. I'm going to skip a lot of the normal stuff because who wants to know anything about Clark running a furniture store that gets no business? He sleeps in his own store because his wife kicked him out of the house that he pays for. The store is having power issues, lights flickering on and off all the time, and the fuse box has an extra 3 switches that he doesn't know where they go. Once he found the Backrooms, he is shocked, surprised, curious, and confused. The first room is a bunch of fused furniture, then sees a stop sign and walks through a hallway and sees a cutout standee that has a play box that's in a language he doesn't understand. Then he sees a camera and found a panel to a bag that carries a lot of those investigation employees, stuff like that. Then he found a room with a big chair fused into the groundish with a slope to a smaller door and a hole in the ground blocked by chairs. And he hears a terrifying sound that some creature is coming after him. He freaks out and trying to get out of the Backrooms, and he does. Clark spends his time wandering the Backrooms and mapping it out. He goes to his therapist to tell about what he finds, and I won't say she doesn't believe him, just wants to understand. And Clark gets upset and leaves that she thinks he is crazy. He does say something about trying to describe someone who never seen a dog and asks them to draw it. The beginning of the Backrooms is this normal stuff shown before they go into the crazy stuff, and not show the monsters just yet, and just build up to the suspension of the monsters. Clark gets his employees and tells them to bring the camera, and where the movie turns into a found footage style, they start exploring the Backrooms even farther, seeing weirdly angled walls, wide and thin, big and small things, tons of mannequins and things fused into the walls and floors, till they spot this slope, and one of the employees goes down there, tied to a rope, and the rope is tied to a random bed, where he sees a tons of clothes piled up, bad lighting, the doors are sideways, and freaks out when he hears something and starts making his way back up the slope. Once they're getting tied, with his girlfriend and boss trying to untie him before getting pulled down the slope, with the boyfriend getting teared into shreds and being dragged through the sideways door, and the girlfriend just starts screaming and running around the Backrooms. I gotta say, Clark is a dick getting his employees killed. Clark starts running through the Backrooms, scared of the monster. This is the coolest part. The deeper he goes, the crazier the rooms get. Things are scattered across and fused into the walls and floors, and he gets to this room where it's Christmas theme with red lighting. There's a Christmas tree. He thinks someone is behind the tree, and one of the entities turns on a lamp beside them, and another one runs towards him from a corner. He just books it, stumbling across the decorations till getting to a part of the pool rooms, and the place does look cool. He puts the camera down, hearing his employee behind a wall. Only she can see one way. Clark is figuring a way to get to her till the monster picks up his camera and the employee is telling him to look behind him, the scene stops there. Okay, and again, all this part is a found footage style. They don't show the monster. They want to build up to the suspension of revealing it. A lot of this film is loud suspense scenes with dramatic music. It cuts to Mary and her troubles. I'm skipping a lot of her stuff. She finds the backrooms wandering around, calling out to Clark in disbelief what she is seeing, and got to a wall of writing on it, and Clark shows up and tells her everything will be fine. Talks about the place and the monsters in it in a way, and they hear the sounds, and Clark just knocks her out. There's a scene going through her traumatic childhood, and this cool one where the scene just transitions through her home that slowly gets more empty, sinking through the floor. She wakes up tied to a chair in a random kitchen, and Clark explains the place where you were lost and you can find yourself in the place. He explains the entities that they can be hurt, you can eat them, and that they are people who got lost there and became a part of this world and became a part of the world. He has a therapy session with Mary. It makes her roleplay as his wife. It's not his fault in a way. He doesn't want to change and doesn't want to leave the place, and feels like it's the place where he belongs. After the session, he starts to cut her free until the monster shows up and is a taller version of himself. This part becomes a bit controversial because people were upset that the actor who was playing the monster, that he was doing blackface, and he is white. This isn't something to be that upset over a dumb horror movie. The other entities freak out. Mary is struggling to get free, and Clark tries to comfort it, saying that they don't have to change, but it ends up killing Clark, and Mary is running away with the monster chasing after her. She is running through a neighborhood, then enters a house, climbing over couches, injuring her leg in the process. Going through a hallway, entering a big open room with a giant hole that spans for miles with many rooms. That is neat. I gotta tell you, that is actually a pretty neat part. And next to the door is a staircase leading up to a hatch that she is climbing through, then entering a part of the back rooms that looks like Clark's furniture store, trying to get out, and the monster is right behind her. She tries to fight it off, and she sees a narrow hole in the wall, trying to get to it, but trips and falls, sets off a trap, spewing gas, and she is laying on the floor thinking she's going to die. The monster is trying to kill her, and she is trying to get it off her, then using a stone that she has her handprint that she had when she was a kid moving into her childhood home. She's just hitting the monster with it and gets it off of her, going through a narrow hole, through the narrow wall, encountering the backroom investigators. I'm calling them that, and I don't care to look up their real alias. They take her to their office and ask her a ton of questions about the situation in the back rooms, how she got there, that typical stuff. And she wants to know where she is, what's going on, and if she can leave. And she's just losing herself, and she becomes a part of the back rooms. And the movie ends there. And again, I'm not sorry for cutting out a lot of it. It's just, who cares about searching, like, who cares about the finance troubles and the normal stuff going around? Came here for the backroom stuff. The entities look like normal people, but just distorted, like a jumbled Rubik's Cube with multiple eyes. I actually enjoyed the movie a bit. The things I like are the backroom stuff, just a ton of random stuff in the back rooms, and things just fuse into other things. I like the found footage style they use every now and then, and the liminal field. Just some things are cool. The effects are really good. The monster entities are whatever, and the main characters, barely main characters, they are just icons for mental health. They are pretty good anyway. Things I don't like, a lot of the scenes just lingered on for way too long. And there's this one of the scenes, the investigators, they are useless anyway. I wouldn't mind if the movie focused on them in a way, where it shows a useless scene of one of the investigators in his house watching a movie with his family, then Clark's furniture store commercial comes on, making him think that he's seen him somewhere before. I don't know. There are tons of shot focusing on a single thing, giving it the liminal feeling, just going on for too long. This is a slow burn movie, and I'm not trying to criticize it for that, and I don't mind slow movies, and I don't need it to be fast paced, but I'm just saying, it's just way, way too slow. They don't need to spend 6 minutes walking around the same room. I know I shouldn't be talking because in some of my videos I have a single picture longer than that, but still. I still enjoyed the movie. I've seen tons of people not liking it for some reason. I think it doesn't have the other rooms or a lot of monsters or something, but why should it? It's just a movie where people lose their insanity in a never-ending cycle of random rooms. There's not much to add to it anyway. People just want to hate with no reason. It's just a movie based on a creepypasta, and it did a better job than other creepypasta movies. I wonder if we're going to look back on this movie in a few years and think back if it was good or bad. Who knows? I know many people already gave their reviews on the movie, and it's been out for several weeks, and my review doesn't matter that much, but if you liked my thoughts and opinions, I'll appreciate it no matter what. Anyone is open to give their opinions on it. Sorry for taking a long time to get this out. I just have many projects to work on. It takes me a while to work on these scripts, and I am a little nervous recording myself sometimes. I want to do these unscripted because it feels like I'm getting better at talking, but I just fall right back into that nervousness in a way. But I need to be patient and get better. I guess that's all I have to say for this movie review. I still enjoy it. See ya. Bye.